There is, in fact, a rational reason to favor what look like irrational decisions. Here's one. Let me suggest that you love your investments. This is not traditional advice. It's almost a badge of honor for investors to claim they are emotionless about their investments because it seems rational. But if lacking emotions about your strategy or the stocks you own increases the odds you'll walk away from them when they become difficult, what looks like rational thinking becomes a liability. The reasonable investors who love their technically imperfect strategies have an edge because they're most likely to stick with those strategies. There are few financial variables more correlated to performance than commitment to a strategy during its lean years. Both the amount of performance and the odds of capturing it over a given period of time, the historical odds of making money in US market are 50-50 over on 1 day periods. 68% in 1 year periods, 88% in 10-year periods, and so far 100% in 20-year periods. Anything that keeps you in the game has a quantifiable advantage. If you view do what you love as a guide to a happier life, it sounds like empty fortune cookie advice. If you view it as the thing providing the endurance necessary to put the quantifiable odds of success in your favor, you realize it should be the most important part of any financial strategy. Invest in a promising company you don't care about, and you might enjoy it when everything's going well. But when the tide inevitably turns, you're suddenly losing money on something you're not interested in. It's a double burden, and the path of least resistance is to move on to something else. If you're passionate about the company to begin with, you love the mission, the product, the team, the science, whatever, the inevitable downtimes when you're losing money or the company needs help are blunted by the fact that at least you feel like you're part of something meaningful. That can be necessary motivation that prevents you from giving up and moving on. There are several other times when it's fine to be reasonable instead of rational with money. There's a well documented home bias where people prefer to invest in companies from the country they live in while ignoring the other 95% of the planet. It's not rational until you consider that investing is effectively giving money to strangers. If familiarity helps you take the leap of faith required to remain backing those strangers, it's reasonable. Day trading and picking individual stocks is not rational for most investors. The odds are heavily against your success, but they're both reasonable in small amounts if they scratch and itch hard enough to leave the rest of few more diversified investments alone. Investor Josh Brown, who advocates and mostly owns diversified funds, once explained why he also owns a smattering of individual stocks. I'm not buying individual stocks because I think I'm going to generate alpha outperformance. I just love stocks and have ever since I was 20 years old. And it's my money. I get to do whatever. Quite reasonable. Most forecasts about where the economy and the stock market are heading next are terrible. But making forecasts is reasonable. It's hard to wake up in the morning telling yourself you have no clue what the future holds, even if it's true. Acting on investment forecasts is dangerous, but I get why people try to predict what will happen next year. It's human nature, it's reasonable. Jack Bogle, the late founder of Vanguard, spent his career on a crusade to promote low cost passive index investing. Many thought it interesting that his son found a career as an active high fee hedge fund and mutual fund manager. Bogle, the man who said high fee funds violate the humble rules of arithmetic, invested some of his own money in his son's funds. What's the explanation? We do some things for family reasons, Bogle told the Wall Street Journal. If it's not consistent, well, life isn't always consistent. Indeed, it rarely is.